Hello and welcome to episode 92 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine evening after a busy E3 week, the one, the only, Mr. Perry Burkham.
Two things. I was born in 1992.
Oh.
So there you go. It's 92nd episode.
You big little baby.
I am a baby. Now the other thing is, David Lloyd sent me, speaking of birthdays, he sent me a bunch of Canadian treats. And one of the things, as a gag, he sent me a Kit Kat bar. Like, haha, you know, like obviously you have Kit Kat bars, so it's not anything special, right? Well, I had it in my fridge because it was a little melted. And I finally took it out and I was eating it. And I was like, oh, this is like different. Like this tastes different. This is Canadian. This is weird, you know?
It's maple chocolate.
No, I looked at it and I see Nestle Kit Kat bar. I was like, and then my mind just was, what in the heck? I was like, that is funny, so weird.
Because when he was going all about obtaining those items to send you in that package, he'd mentioned, he's like, yeah, like, you guys don't have Kit Kats or something along those lines. I was like, no, we have Kit Kats. And then he was like, oh, I guess maybe he thought he had bad information, you know? So he was like, okay, and he sent it anyway, because I guess he had heard that we didn't have Kit Kats or something, but I guess, so maybe it was more so that it was just different.
Right. No, I get it. Like, it's funny, like, yeah, because it is one of those things I can see in culture, like, totally differences where they don't think we have Kit Kats because it's such a big deal for, like, in Japan to get Kit Kats and bring them back, you know? Mm-hmm. But yes, we have Kit Kats made by Hershey.
We just got crappy Kit Kats, apparently.
Well, I wouldn't say crap. I love Hershey Kit Kats. But I was like, what? I thought the Kit Kats were a Hershey's brand thing. Like, you know, I thought, you know, they have, like, their brand. Like, they have Reese's, they have
different
Kit
publishers.
Kats, York peppermint patties, you know. Exactly, Casey. I looked it up. And the USA is the only place in the world that Hershey licenses and produces Kit Kat bars, and they use their Hershey's chocolate. Nestle has the Kit Kat bars all over the rest of the world.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they use their chocolate. I mean, it's different. It's so weird. I just found that so weird. And like the whole "give me a break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar." That's all American. That's not like they don't use that anywhere else.
That's straight up America.
Straight up Hershey's America. Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Ooh-wee. I've been there before.
You have?
Yeah, I've been to Hershey Park.
It's closer, I think.
What's that?
It's probably closer. It's probably closer than it is to you. Than it is to me.
It was a long while back at this point, but yeah, I don't think it was like a crazy drive.
Right. Dude, I love Hershey. I like Hershey's chocolate.
Yeah, a good old Hershey's Kiss. There's nothing wrong with that.
You're right. You know what? There's something about the Kiss.
Because it's just literally just a nice little taste, you know? It's like
the perfect shape, you know?
Yeah.
You know
it's just a big
cookies?
Chocolate chip, essentially. I mean...
Yeah, it is. You know those peanut butter cookies with the Hershey's Kiss in the middle? Have you ever had those? Yeah. Oh, man.
Do I know those?
Whoo-wee, those are so good. Yes. Anyway, this is chocolate time.
Well, yeah. Well, we're past chocolate time. I think I think it's time to get right into what we've been playing because we've got some games to talk about. I even have an extra game that I'm gonna hold off till next week because I don't think. But yeah, I mean, I guess
we'll see.
Real quick before we get into that, it's just E3 come and gone. Real quick, I wanted to say just like 30 seconds. How are you feeling a week removed from all of the news? I know initially we were both sort of like lukewarm, you know, as far as no hype, super hype moments, but...
Yeah, it's funny. Every year... I started lukewarm. I was like, you know what? That was like... It wasn't crappy. Like, it was not a crappy direct. Like, it was no, like, Wii Music wasn't the main game. I mean, Super Smash Bros. Was the main game, and, like, you can't go wrong with the ultimate Smash Bros. Game. Mm-hmm. But, there just wasn't much else, Even though they did show a lot of stuff, but a lot of the stuff was already leaked and we knew about. And, we had it was cool to see that new Demon Ex Machina game,
Yeah, that game looks obviously we don't really know much about it, but it looks like it could be really cool.
Oh, yeah, totally. And then, just everything else, like Super Mario Party is awesome, So, it wasn't crappy, but it's it wasn't, crazy. I remember, last year, the Metroid Prime 4,
last year was bonkers.
Freaking sweet. And then, afterwards...
I was going to say, even just the Mario Odyssey trailer, remember how insane that was?
Oh, man. It was just yes. And how weird we felt, or at least me, just seeing, it was so bizarre, Odyssey was so mind-blowing. And just that screen of Metroid Prime 4, man, I'm just saying, just seeing that, knowing it exists, I like that. I think reminding people of what's on the horizon is really good. Now, you don't need to go into depth, but, you can't really say that it's not fair to show stuff that's off, that's, Reggie mentioned something
I get, with Bethesda lately, where it's been hey, we're going to show you this brand new game you didn't know that was coming, or, in the case of, Fallout, it's you knew a sequel was coming at some point, but, they hadn't officially, talked about it. Right. And they, showing it off in June and it comes out in November. I think there is a really nice, cool factor to that, because it's all right, the hype is insane, and then it never really dies down too much because it comes out so soon, where I guess, a couple E3s in a row of just throwing, just a tiny little bit might get drawn out, but at the same token, I felt after that Smash... Especially
there's got to be something,
Especially with the Ridley reveal, it just lended itself perfectly to just a 10-second little teaser trailer of the next Prime. But I think for me it was it didn't have any of those real tall oh my god moments. And I think a lot of that is because the last couple E3s they've sort of hung their hat on one game, right? It was Breath of the Wild. Boom. Oh my god, we finally know what it is, and it's the talk of the show. Then you had Odyssey. Oh my god,
perfect.
A New Donk City, what the heck,
Yeah.
And this year, it's Smash, which is oh my god, every character. It's a new engine, new game. It's amazing. But at the end of the day, you look at it and it's still Smash. It a battle in Smash 4. Looks pretty similar to this, even though once you get your hands on the controller, you'll be able to tell the difference. But I just think that's sort of why. Because, when I stepped back and I was looking at all the games that were shown, and then you look at my Best Buy pre-order thing, and next thing you know, they're all in there pretty much. So there's a lot of games I'm excited to play, but it's not like I'm losing my my I don't want to curse. I don't want to make you edit. Not losing my crap.
Your crap. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But no,
No, I hear you. But reflecting on it now, it's been a week. I know that they're scaling back. That they don't need to. They're making E3 not as big a deal as they need to, and that they like you said, sometimes there's a direct right after. And
you're why didn't you just say that at E3?
Yeah, but it's I think it's just they want to announce stuff on their own terms and whatever, and they just, I don't know.
Might as well have the hype throughout the year. No, it makes sense. Yeah. Instead of blowing everything at one event, you could say, hey, we have 4 real big announcements throughout the year, and it keeps everyone engaged.
Right. But this year is kind of looking a little barren.
But you know what? I totally get where you're coming from that, right?
Yeah.
But then, when you look at it, so you've got Pokemon in November, you're going to have Smash in December, you're going to have Starlink in October, you're going to have Xenoblade DLC, which is essentially another Xenoblade game, standalone in September, and then I think there was a third-party game coming in August that I can't... I'm blanking, but it's, you know what it is? Like I said, it's Smash and Pokemon. maybe to you and me that
yeah,
isn't
those
as
are
exciting as it is to a lot of other people, maybe. But
Yeah.
I tell you what, and sort of to at least put my last thoughts on E3, game I am very much excited for that I had almost like no level of hype for going into E3. Pokemon Let's Go.
Me too. Absolutely. And the transformation happened on our broadcast after E3.
Yeah, we're like, okay.
Well, I just seeing it in motion, it's like, okay, this is actually really gorgeous and it looks cool. And oh my goodness, they're riding on an Onyx.
I know, like,
that's it. I'm going fishing. Like that was the moment right there. It's like,
and then,
okay.
And the whole time I'm like, yeah, that Pokeball, it looks pretty cool, but that is totally something I would never get, you know?
Right. And then you pre-ordered it.
Yeah, I sure did. I sure did.
You know what that's, you know what we call that?
Oh, I'm a Jimmy.
A big gym bot.
I tell you what, I never knew I wanted to play a Pokemon game with one hand so bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like, oh, I could just get chill and I just control the whole game.
I still don't, okay. I still really don't know. So, this is an actual, does it have all the buttons of a Joy-Con?
I think, I know it has.
People have said this, and then I've seen it, and I just like, I see one button. I see where is it?
Well, all right, so you've got, clearly you've got like
Pokeball Plus?
It's like a circle pad almost, or I guess an analog stick.
Is it called a Pokeball Plus?
Yeah, Pokeball Plus.
Okay.
Here you go. So you've got, there's a top button on the very top that is red. You've got the control stick.
And you can't really see that, right?
Yeah, no. Like I'm looking,
yeah.
like right now I'm looking at a picture that like labels everything. Like, like literally, strap lock, safety release. But yeah, so there is, so there's a top button, and then there's the stick. So I guess, I mean, think of a Pokemon game. You move around and you press A on menu items.
Yep.
So that's all you really need.
So there's just one button and one control stick, right?
So yeah, you could control the whole game, I guess, essentially with two buttons, or one button and a stick.
All right, that makes sense. That's what I thought it was, but then it's like hearing people say it's a Joy-Con.
I know I could probably.
It's not a Joy-Con.
I was gonna say I could essentially do that with a Joy-Con, I guess, one-handed. But sucker. Anyway, enough.
I got one too.
Yeah, and you got yours for a dang good price. You're welcome.
Thank you. They still haven't canceled it, so I think we're in.
Yeah, I think they usually do it.
Do you remember Amazon Prime Day? That was the best. Getting like Hey Pikmin pre-orders for $6 and
yeah, that was great.
Baby, so good. Yeah.
But yes, enough. Another.
That
E3.
was the longest 30 seconds.
Yeah, I know. I should have known. But anyway, whatever. Let's get into what we've been playing because again, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. And you have actually been checking out one of two games with the word ink in the title.
That's right. And this game is called Ink. Yes. Yes, Ink. This is a game I saw a press release for. You know, press releases are good because I look at them and I look at the trailer and I go, oh, this is either a good game or not a good game, but a game I'm interested in or a game I'm not. And I see this and I'm like, okay, this is a platformer that kind of looks like Goner with pixel graphics. I'm interested in this. You know? Like, this is cool.
Yes.
Yes. So the fine folks sent us a code, and I've been playing it. I haven't beaten the whole game. I don't really know how big the game is, but I've played like around like 50 levels of it. These are kind of, I mean, like the levels could be like 15 seconds or like they could take you like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like they're hard. The difficulty's pretty hard, but it's just one of those. Okay, so I'll just tell you about the main mechanics. So it's really cool. So you can jump and you can double jump, and that's it. But the double jump, when you hit it in the air, shoots out paint in all directions. And that paint coats the walls, and then you can see the walls and hazards.
Okay, so you're going in blind.
So you're going in blind, but like if you jump, you know, then you can all the wall jump and all that stuff. Your character is just a square. It's kind of like a Jello cube because it's like it has like momentum. Like when you stop, it like jiggles back and like bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah. And then all the enemies so far I've seen are rectangles, and you just jump on them and like Goomba them. And you know, some levels like okay, so the goal is to get to this like little. It must be like a paint can or something. Paint. It's like a. It's like a
bucket.
little box with all the colors in it. It's not a bucket, but it's just like a box, and you just got to get to it, and then it opens up the next level. Sometimes you have to kill all the enemies to unlock it. You know?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So, but you know, and sometimes the levels scroll, and sometimes they're vertical and horizontal. But the main hook of the game is you can't see anything, so you have to paint stuff by doing that double jump and exploding paint everywhere.
Now, is there a limit to your jumps at all with the paint, or is it encouraged to just double jump all over the place to really uncover the world or the walls?
Yeah. I mean, like, did you say is there limits?
Yeah, like as far as like, do you need to refill your paint?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah, it's unlimited paint, and this is where it gets kind of like messy with the game design. Is unlimited. I mean, unlimited. You know, you can die as many times as you want, and you come back, and it's still painted how you left it. You know.
Mm-hmm. So it's sort of
which
easy.
Which makes sense, right? Like that makes sense. You can't just start over, and it would be really annoying to not know. And you know, it's like might as well just keep what you've painted and keep going. As far as I know, there's no life tracker, so it's like there's not like a high score of like doing it.
So it's just sort of not to put it down, but like you're going through the motions.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, like it's kind of like, well, I'm gonna try to get through this level, and I am building up skill to like how to jump off walls to spray and then come back and then figure out where I'm going, you know. But you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like, well, when I die, there's no consequence. I just come back and then I'm right there, and that's easier for me, and I'll just get to it till I get to the end. Mm-hmm. So the feeling of playing there isn't very exciting. It's kind of like, I don't know, like there's no tension. You know what I mean?
There's no. You need a little bit of pushback to make your actions sort of matter.
Yeah, maybe some of the paint goes away. You know, like maybe like the last paint that you did like goes away or something. That'd be kind of cool. But you keep going, and then like it introduces stuff really gradually, like enemies in general. You know, enemies come, and then like spikes come, and then like enemies that shoot. You know, so you can't hit them. Now, the physics I am not a big fan of. They work, but they just don't feel exactly perfect how you want to feel them. Like not like Goner. Like for me, like Goner's platforming, and I'm just comparing it to Goner because it's a good platformer.
And it's got them colors.
Yeah. They feel so good, and you feel like you're in complete control. And this one, it's like it's very horizontal, and I don't know, like you can't really land on the platforms, and I don't know, like it's weird. Like I would miss the platforms, and usually you get used to it, but it's like it has a really weird momentum in the jumps. Yeah. So it's something where I could see people having not like be completely fine with it, But for me, it just didn't click with me, and it wouldn't. And I played like 50 levels, and you get it going in a pattern, and it's not bad platforming. It doesn't feel bad, but there's just a weird physics to it. So other than that, it's a really cool looking game. It's fun. It's good fun. It's like you said, it's very minimalistic. I wish that your character wasn't just a block. And the enemies weren't just blocks.
It seems like it's missing like one thing to really sort of bring it around. Like you said, it's like the visuals are sort of lackluster as far as the characters, and it doesn't have that
visuals
punishment.
Aren't really lackluster, but it's not
simple. Well, yeah, like a box.
The enemy design.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like it needs like one more thing to sort of pull it all together, like whether that be like a little challenge or maybe. Just something.
Yeah. The music's good. Music sounds cool. And, it's really cool. It's a cool looking game, but it's exactly what you said. It just needs that one more thing to kind of put that sheen and polish on it together. But, yes, that's Ink. I don't think it's available yet. It might be. I don't know. We have probably a huge eShop roundup. I haven't
Yeah,
even
I was gonna
checked.
say we'll find out.
We
and,
missed like 2 weeks on E3, so I'm sure.
Oh my god! Yeah, we might have to.
Well, maybe not. Maybe people didn't want to release around E3.
Yeah, I'm sure there's still some that released, but yeah, I highly.
Yeah.
I can't imagine too many games would be like, oh, it's come out that Thursday E3.
Right. Exactly.
Unless you've got cojones the size of Texas.
Speaking of Texas, you've been playing one of the most Texan games in the world.
Yes. Now, I would say, do you know how to pronounce this game?
VIII Lacrimosa of Dana?
Close. Dana. I know it is totally
Donna
spelled
Donna.
I know it's so silly in the game. It is definitely spelled Dana, but it is in the game pronounced the entire time Donna. But yes, VIII Lacrimosa of Dana. And this is an RPG, and it is actually an action RPG. I did not know that going in. I've never played a game in the Ys universe. I know the earlier ones had that strange combat where you'd literally just run into another player, or an enemy, I should say, and that would do the damage, you know? So it's...
Okay, yeah.
I guess if you think about it, it's like that's sort of a really primitive take on an action RPG, you know, opposed to turn-based. So I don't know if the entire series has stuck to the action style, but essentially, I guess we'll start with the story of this game. Is you take control of Adol, and him and his companion Dogi, which is the best name ever. They are Dogi, D-O-G-I.
Like a doggy.
Yes.
A companion.
Yes, little Dogi. Although he's pretty big. But yeah, so you are...
Ladybird!
Where are you? So you're on this ship, the Lombardia, and you know, you're sort of going around on the ship. You're sailing to some island. You've got a destination, and you sort of learn of this one little island that's sort of close, but it's cursed. And then next thing you know, the ship is attacked by this giant monster, and it is taken under. And you find yourself on this island on the shore, and as you sort of get your bearings, you end up, you know, oh, there's Dogi. And you meet some other, like the captain, and essentially you start a little village in the middle of the island here with the plan of like, okay, let's sort of explore the island, find any castaways, bring them back here, and then we're gonna like figure out how to get off this island. So, you know, in the beginning it starts off a little slow because it is a lot of like, hey, go over here, see if there's any, you know, any castaways you can find, and you sort of go in that area. And it's like, oh, there's no one over here, but let me try over here, and then, you know, you bring them back, and it's sort of, like I said, it takes a little bit of time to get into it, but eventually the story continues to sort of open up, and you start having dreams of this, this maiden, Donna, and, like, they're very vague at first, and you're sort of like, what the heck is going on? And then obviously, as you continue to push the story forward, it starts to come into focus a little more what's going on within his dreams and what Donna's sort of doing on her end, and then how they sort of intersect is, I think, really interesting. And I don't want to go into too many specifics because I think it was sort of cool to come to that realization of, how, you know, as I was playing it, how it all came together. But as far as the combat, it is not turn-based. It is very much an action RPG, like, big time. So
now, when you say action RPG, like, what's the difference between action RPG and action?
Well, I guess an action game would be sort of like a beat-em-up, right? Sort of that style where you're just taking out enemies by doing combos and stuff, but you're not leveling up. Maybe is more because like this is very much
so
like,
it's like an action game where you can level up your attacks.
Yeah, because you very much like your character gains levels, you gain stats, you unlock abilities, and those abilities can power up by using them and gaining levels. So all right, when you are roaming the map, you will see enemies all over the place. You don't jump into any, like, specific, like, oh, you are in a battle now, or like how Xenoblade, when you engage an enemy, you sort of get that circle around you, and it's like, all right, this is where the zone's partaking. This is completely, you can run up to an enemy, fight a little bit. If he's too strong, just run away, and like he's gonna chase you for a while, but you'll probably get away.
Well, that's kind of like Xenoblade, right? I mean, it's kind of like, I feel like Xenoblade is the halfway point between that and
totally,
JRPG.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yes. Because I feel like with so Xenoblade, when you use abilities, they have like some cooldowns and stuff, right? This, you really don't have any cooldowns with your abilities. All right, so when you engage an enemy, you just hit A is how you do your normal attack, and that sort of builds up SP, and then when you have SP, that's when you can hold the R button, and then you have all of your skills sort of assigned to the face buttons. And in the beginning, I would sort of hoard my SP, sort of that, I don't want to waste my magic for when I need it,
Right. Oh, that's the constant thing with me all the time.
Well,
I never want to use my SP, my magic, just because I never want to rely on it.
Well, let me tell you, if you ever play Ys 8, spam those abilities all day. Seriously, because you get SP so quick that, like, you can just, like, the game is definitely, like, modeled around, like, hey, use your abilities. Use a lot of them all the time. And, like, as you unlock more abilities, like, some use, like, only 10 to 20 SP. So it's like, all right, I can use these a bunch. And then they have the abilities that, 40 or 50, where it's like they're going to do more damage, but obviously, you need to save up as much SP as you can. But yeah, you're going to use your abilities a lot. What's also cool is that there is a big element of dodging and blocking attacks. So with your L button, you can just, is like a dodge, a roll out of the way. And if you time it properly, like right before it lands, you actually, like, time sort of slows down and you could keep attacking faster. So you get a nice little...
I love me a good dodge roll.
Get a nice little offensive bonus as well. And same with the guard. Like, if you time the guard right, you get a little bonus. And what's cool is you have a party of 3, so you can switch between all of your characters on the fly mid-battle. Well, I should say the 3 active characters. You will get more in your party that you can sort of mix and match. But it's super fun because the characters do play quite a bit differently in style. So like the one guy has like a big sort of hammer kind of thing, so his attacks are much slower but more powerful. And just each character plays different enough that it is a lot of fun to switch up. And you unlock a ton of abilities, so it's fun to sort of mix and match those and find out what works best for you. Then they also have these things called raids that periodically your village will just be under attack, and you'll have to go defend it. And you don't always have to go. Like, some of these are optional, and then some are sort of mandatory. But essentially, it's just you're sort of put in an area, and they send like a couple waves of enemies, and you just need to kill them all before they get to your town. So that's sort of a nice little change up, sort of almost like a little boss rush. But yeah, I mean, as far as like the rest of the stuff, the music is amazing. This game's got really great music. Visually, I think the characters are interesting looking. The bosses are really cool. There's definitely a lot of moments where you sort of get that, like, whoa, look at this. And they know it because before each boss, they sort of like do a nice little pan and they bring up the name, and it just looks big and intimidating, The island is designed well. I had a lot of fun exploring it. Visually, it looks nice. It could look a little better. Like, I just feel like sometimes it was like the textures, or it just could have been a little smoother looking, but not so bad that it was like, revolting or anything. I did find it looked better in docked mode than handheld, but again, not like so bad that it would be unplayable or anything. I guess I'm trying to think what else before we move on here. Yes, crafting. So there is a big element on crafting, which sort of ties into the story, which is sort of cool. It's like, hey, we're stuck on this island. One of the castaways happened to be a blacksmith, so she is able to craft you new items. but you need those materials. So when you're out, instead of like Xenoblade where you had to like mine an ore or, you know, sort of pull out a specific tool to harvest a specific material, this is all just like, hey, there's a mine right there. Let me just whack it with my sword, and then, you know, the ore pops out. So it's like nice and easy to collect. And then when you go back to the village, you know, you can upgrade your equipment there through her, or you can use like brew potions and stuff. And by increasing rep with your townspeople, by doing quests, side quests that they have, it actually alters which ending you get at the end of the game. So it is encouraged to sort of go and do those side quests, and there are a bunch of them. So, you know, if you do just want to sort of take a break from the story, there's a lot to do on the side as well. And I mean, I really like this game a lot. I'm not generally, I'd much rather turn-based RPG, you know, but this game has definitely changed my mind on what like an action RPG could be. Because even with like Ni no Kuni 2, when I was playing that a while back, that's an action RPG too, but it just
is it?
Yeah, it didn't.
Okay.
It didn't feel like, I don't know. I don't want to say it felt bad, but like this felt so much more fun and satisfying. And yeah, I just really, really enjoyed this game. So I did the review for the website, and we did a video review for it as well. So you can actually click that link in the description here on your podcast services. That'll bring you to YouTube if you want to check it out.
Fancy schmancy.
Yes, sir. As well as our new challenge, which will be up there as well. But that's enough RPG goodness for right now. You've been...
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Says who? Maybe I'm doing a mystery history that's an RPG.
I hope not. Because then that ruined my transition, dang it, Bobby. But yeah,
Nope.
you've dipped your toes back into the well, haven't you?
Oh, yes, I have. Into the magical well. That is Kingdom New Lands.
Ooh-wee.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. So, what's crazy is, so we all know that Kingdom New Land, well, we all should know. Let me just make the formal announcement again. Kingdom New Lands is coming physically to Switch via limited run games with a regular and a special edition. I'm so excited.
You're going to get that
goodness.
special edition, I imagine, right?
Oh, baby. Yes. I'm going to get that all over the place. So,
You pervert.
yes, I'm very, very excited about that. But before that, it's so weird. Before that was announced at E3, you know, that's why it's so weird to me, and it caught me off guard. I got back into it like a few days, and Jill and I, it's like our favorite game to play together. Got back into playing it because I just was like, you know what, let's do it. And Jill's like, yeah, let's play the game. You know, let's try to beat, because we haven't beat it yet. I have not beat the game. There's 5 islands. I know.
You claim to
so
be some sort of fan of the game.
Well, it's like, think about it. It's like a roguelike that, you know, can take up to 10 hours. And if you die, you're dead.
You're out of here. Yeah.
That's it. Now, the thing is like, it's one of those things where, so if there's 5 islands, and there's actually a 6th island that they released for free called Skull Island, which I can't imagine how hard that is, but
It sounds mean.
Yeah, so there's 5 islands, and you can start at any island you want. So I say that, like, okay, you can just start at the 5th island if you want.
But you probably wouldn't stand a chance, I'd imagine.
Right, because you start, like, what you want to do, so the way the game plays, you arrive on this first island, you follow this ghost to a campsite, and they give you 10 coins, and you can hire 2 guys there that are at the campsite, and then you can assign them jobs. You can either have them be an archer or a builder. And the archers will get you money by shooting animals, like they'll turn into coins, like deer will give you 3, and then rabbits will give you 1. And those are in the fields. So they'll walk and they'll find and shoot them and bring you coins, and they can hold like up to 8 coins at once. And builders will build you your walls. So this is also like a tower defense game in a way. I hate saying tower defense.
Yeah,
I hate the
makes
word.
it feel cheap, but
it's like a mobile, like free app store.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It has sort of like a dirty
iPhone
name or dirty feel to it.
Yeah.
When that doesn't necessarily mean.
It doesn't give it justice. But anyway, you can build the walls and like your
defenses,
archer posts. You can put posts for them. So the reason you're building these walls is because at night, from the left and from the right, this is a side-scrolling game. These things come out of portals, and they will come and try to attack your town. And it starts off like nothing, But you just got to make sure. So basically the point of the game is, or the way that you'll die is, if you don't have any coins and they attack you and they actually hit you, then your crown will fall off, and if they grab it before you do, then that's it. And then that's the end of the game. So you're building up walls. You're acquiring more people. The way you get them is you have to venture out into the woods and through the land to get to find like campsites, and that's where the guys will be there, the peasants, and and then you can hire them to walk back to your town. But there's this crazy cool dynamic with, like, you can't just go at, like, you gotta better go in the morning, because you need enough time to go get there, hire them, and they're just gonna walk to your site. So it's like, if you do it late enough, they're just gonna get, the monsters are gonna come and they're gonna
it's all over, but they're crying.
Now the cool thing is they don't die. They become vagrants. So they start as vagrants. You hire them, they become whatever, peasants or whatever. So they don't actually die, but they, that coin that you spent on them is gone, right? And then you have to go hire them again so that they'll walk to your town. All right,
yeah. So it's just a penalty cash wise.
Yeah, really. Yeah. It's like you don't. Yeah, it's penalty. Yeah, exactly. And it's really, that's what creates this.
The tension.
This game is, it's absolutely captivating. It is. It's like at all times, because there's so many ways you know what to do, and there's so many different variables that you want to take care of. But it's not like overwhelming, because there's not menu systems and like all this like different complicated mess of like I'm lost. It's not like that at all, because it's just side scrolling. So it's like, I know it's very plain and simple, from A to B. I know where things need to, like, there's no map. So part of the fun is not really knowing how far away stuff is and stuff like that. But I just mean, like, it's so simple. It's not complicated. But there's still a lot of strategy, like
the depth's
a ridiculous amount of strategy. Oh man, yeah. And like you said, nothing is really explained, and everything is you have to figure out for yourself, and that is totally one of the best design decisions in this game, because that's the way you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn by making a mistake and then seeing what happens, and then that. You're not gonna learn by them telling you on text on the screen, like how to do stuff. Like for me, it just works a lot better. And so you want to build up your armies. You build up your walls to get bigger. Become stone. Like they start as wooden walls, go to stone walls. You unlock the ability to get knights, and then
then you could probably wreak some havoc.
Well, yeah. So then the knights are what you have to send to literally destroy the portals. But you got to be careful, because like once they start attacking the portals, they're gonna start coming out, and the knight in front of it will guard them, but they'll attack the knight, and you can load up your knight with coins, like with I think 5 coins, so then he can take 5 hits, but the knight will have a sword and he'll slash them too. So basically, it's one of those things where you can send them off to the portal, and you don't have to go with them, but you're gonna want to. Like, you're gonna want to see what's going on, because you don't want your guys, all of them, to die, because that is so much time and effort and money to have your knights, because he brings like 4 archers with him.
Yeah, they're important pieces to the success there. Yeah,
exactly. So you don't want to lose them. You know what I just mean? But then like they're going to the opposite side now, and I have to like I need to be making sure that I'm making money, and that I'm collecting for my archers, and that I'm paying for my buildings, and that I'm making sure, you know, like to do all this stuff and making sure that I'm hiring people at the same time and going to the campsites. So you see all these very simple things aligned on one line where it's the tension is amazing. The tension mounts, and it's just this most dynamic up and down experience where like you think you're gonna die. Like these huge monsters come that just they'll come and they'll spew out monsters, like monsters that literally like they come and they'll just take out a wall, just boom, take out a wall, and it's just like I'm gonna die. Like I'm gonna die.
Screwed.
I can't stop this thing. But then like you go and you're hiring archers, like you know, just like barely, and there's like 5 archers shooting at this guy, and right like when you think all is done, he just collapses, and it's like, oh,
you just barely like, make it out by the.
And it's just like, and then they kind of give you a few days of like it's not gonna be a huge attack again coming up.
They give you a little bit of a breather.
Yes, and it's just like. Oh, and then you build up and it's like, oh my goodness, I'm going to beat this. Like I survived this and I know that I can get it back to where it was, you know. And there's also farming. That's another aspect that you unlock. You get farmers that you can send out and you can make stables that where they'll stay there at night, but you don't, but then like if they come, or let's see, no. Yeah, they'll go into the houses and stay there. But like you can also make day farms so that when they're done farming, they can come back to the main for the night. Anyway, to the main town. So you're building out left and right, mm-hmm. and the point of the game is to rebuild your ship, and there's a river like in front.
Sounds like ease.
Yeah. You got to rebuild your ship. Takes a lot of coins, and then you got to push it to the edge and go, and then leave, and then. So the reason I was saying for the 5 islands is because, like you can take your knights, like up to 3 knights with you, and like a bunch of builders and a bunch of guys, so you can start off with
next
really good crew.
Yeah, the next island you already got a leg up.
Oh yeah, and it's like okay, now I can literally go destroy the portals right now. Now that's not such a good thing because there's also blood moons. Once you destroy a portal, blood moons come and then a huge attack. So you got to be ready for that and stuff like that. So as you can see, there's so much. There's so much, and I don't know how long I've played it. I'm assuming I've probably played around 35, 40 hours.
Hi caramba!
It's one of my favorite games of all time. I'm serious, and it's so fun with playing with people because. It's so helpful because you'll get going on one task and you think, and you're not even thinking of something, and Joel will be like, "You need to go do this," and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, thank you so much," because I completely forgot. And it's like you saved the game, so it's totally a cooperative game, even though it's one player controlling. It's just as helpful, you know, to have. I mean, as if they had another controller. Now the new one coming out. Oh my goodness, the new one coming out is co-op. With 2 players.
You two are going to eat that up.
Oh, man. I'm just so excited. It's amazing. So, and I was talking with David Martinez. Is that his name? Is that the guy at Raw Fury?
Oh, yes, I believe so. Yes, yeah.
Yes. When we saw him at
at PAX, at the panel.
Yeah, I was talking to him and gushing over Kingdom, and he was telling me that actually, and maybe I shouldn't say this.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what? I might. Well, it has to do with Nintendo approaching them for Kingdom. Anyway, I'll have him tell the story. We'll have him on the show. I don't know if I don't want to get him in trouble.
He's like, I hate you. I don't want to go on your show.
I was fired.
Yeah. I've got no job.
Yeah. Anyway, I remember when Kingdom came out, I remember, like, obviously I was in love with the game like crazy. I reviewed it, and I remember I didn't want to talk about it too much on the show because, like, I didn't want to, like, give away anything, and, you know, just really wanted people to play it and stuff. But now I just decided to let loose and talk all about it. So
now we can't shut you up about it.
Yeah. It's so good, and I can't wait for you to play. And I really hope that because I know you downloaded it, and I just hope that you can give it
the time.
I know it's so hard in this day and age. Honestly, it's like I almost don't want you to play it because I know how hard it is to give, you know, the time it deserves.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I tell you what,
I mean that in the respectful way as possible.
There might be a window upcoming. I've just finished the Ease review, obviously. I guess, yeah, by the time this goes up, the game will already be out. I'm doing the Pode, P-O-D-E. Pode? I don't even know how you pronounce it.
I'm going to say Pode. That's
Pode?
What it looks like.
All right, Pode. The co-op little puzzler game.
Yeah.
I'm doing the review for that. I haven't really played all that much, otherwise I would have talked about it today. But
oh, okay.
Yeah. That's once that's done, then it's just sort of not really too much I need to be playing. So it might be a Kingdom time. Could be Mario, Tennis, and Kingdom. But yes.
Oh man.
Woo. And probably a little bit of this next game if you are ready to move on.
I'm ready to move on.
Well, this next game I talked about a while ago, but it makes a little bit more sense now with the recent release last week, and that is Fortnite. Yes, I do. Because it's out, and we've been playing it.
That's right.
Yeah, so again, I'm not going to go too much into what it is. I'll give a quick little spiel for those who have somehow missed it. Fortnite Battle Royale, 100 people drop into a map. Last man and or woman standing or team. Because you can do squads, and which are 4 people, and you can do duos, which are 2 people. Yep. I find that doing either a squad or duo is a lot more fun because this game is just a lot more fun when you're working with people. Not to say that the single player is bad. I think there is a cool element of just being you versus 99 other people. But I do like the team element of it. But yeah, so essentially you all dropped into this map and last person surviving. But as the game progresses, a circle comes up, or the storm comes, and there's just a circle that keeps you protected from it, and it keeps shrinking as the game goes on, so that you have to be in it, and obviously to sort of be like, hey, kill each other. So we've been playing it a little bit. I know David and Neil and John and Justin, they've been going hard every night, and I've been missing out. Because of this dang old work business. Yeah, I know. So, but yeah, it's a super fun game. It is absolutely free to play, so you guys should all download it and at least check it out.
Cool.
I mean, worst case, just to get an idea of what the fuss is all about.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, what a crazy concept. I mean, like, seriously, it's like there's literally no bar to entry. Like, you can just download it for free and play, and you have nothing. You have no. Like, no one has anything over you, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone's on an equal...
Except for their freshness levels. You can pay to look good. But yeah.
Right.
No, like you said, completely free to play, and the only microtransactions are all cosmetic stuff, so no one's going to have a leg up on you. And just the element of the game is completely random, because you're going to drop in and you're going to loot what you happen to come across, and sometimes you come across these amazing items, rocket launchers, purple, like, tier machine guns, all this, and then sometimes you go into an area and you can't help but find anything but like a pistol, so, it is a bit of luck, and then obviously you sort of harvest materials, and you could build, that's the whole Fortnite, is you could build forts and stairs and paths and walls and all sorts of stuff on the fly. So a lot of the times if you engage in combat, all of a sudden people start building walls to sort of have protection from you. And that part I'm not that great at. I mean, I'm not great at the game at all.
Did you know that there's a separate control for that?
Yeah,
that you can switch to.
Yeah, don't you hit like L or something, or one of the buttons, and it jumps up and it changes the set.
Well, there's literally there's a different mode you can set the controls to. That's like pro mode. Like, and like it changes that to like a one button thing.
I'll have to check into that.
Yeah, Aaron was telling me about it. So, yeah, I don't know. But I think it makes it easier to do that, or faster. That's how you see those people going so crazy.
Oh, yeah, they're like, boom, super fast. And you're like, oh, geez. But, But yeah, no, Fortnite's pretty cool. Like I said, I could definitely see the appeal of why people like it, and why it is so popular. It's nice because a full game, if you are lasting to the very end, is probably only going to take you 20 to 25 minutes. And if you die early, you can just pop right into another one pretty easily. Yeah. So it's
Casey and I's games are around 4 or 5 minutes.
They don't last very long, but they're going. They're fun.
I think that I was playing with Neil and John and David, and we were having a lot of fun. And like we were the second team, so I was like, I think we were ranked number 2. I think once.
That's not bad.
Or number 3. There was 4 people left. That's right, but it was 2 teams, so we were number 3. And that's the only thing. That's the only thing we got to. But
that's still pretty good. Yeah, though.
And this game is interesting. It's definitely fun. It's good fun. Looks cool. Concept great. Runs great. Looks great on Switch. The only thing is like the depth perception.
Yeah, the draw distance is pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I could see this being sort of like or going the way of Rocket League, where it's like, okay, it doesn't look as nice, draw distance isn't as nice, but then like as the months go on and the fan base is still playing a lot on the Switch, they're gonna hopefully put some more patches out that'll sort of maybe smoothen some of those things up. And, as they get more familiar with the Switch, developing for the Switch, that they could sort of add these improvements along as they go. And I could see that happening because this game, I mean, it's a platform. This game's going to be around for the entirety of the console's life cycle, and people are going to want to play on the go. People love playing on their Switch, so I could see it improving over time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was going to just... The gameplay, is not my favorite. I think that the shooting feels really loose. I think on purpose, because if it was like a Call of Duty, then it's just everyone... I mean, it's just to be over too quick, and if someone comes behind you, you have no chance of...
Yeah, I think the level of... the lack of precision is what makes it accessible to everyone, like you said, where it's not like... oh, you're just going to run into it. Like, of course, there are going to still be people who are really good and are really good at the shooting, but, right. I feel like the looseness sort of makes it a little bit more of an even playing field.
Right. Exactly. So, and I think that the it is kind of weird. You can play games where you don't see anyone for 20 minutes, and you just walk in and then you just get shot.
Oh, yeah.
And it's that's not super fun, I don't find that really fun. Now, if you have a team and you're talking and, you're fellowshipping with one another and it's a grand old time, then it's fun. But playing alone, it's just kind of
it's sort of boring because, the map is huge. And there are definitely ways you could sort of be like, all right, I want to get into the thick of it. I'll choose a more dense city-like area to drop into because... chances are more people are going to be dropping in there. But, sometimes it is a little boring. There are just times where it's like, all right, I'm sort of in the circle here. I don't know where the circle's going to go next, so I don't want to move yet. And that doesn't change for another minute and a half. So, I guess I'll just sort of camp around here and see if I see anyone, which, like you said, sort of is a little boring.
Yeah, I mean, just at times. It's not always like that, but right. It's it can be like that, and it's just kind of like a antsy thing, and then, I don't know. But then on the other hand, it can be really crazy,
Oh my god, yeah.
There's this. Did you see the video of us in the cabin?
No, but I know David likes to go to the disco, so it's always got like the music going and stuff, and he likes to go dance.
Well, we were in this. There's like a cabin by the lake, and we just all four because like it was like basically in like the really closed circle, and we were just kind of waiting in there because we couldn't see anyone. We saw people were fighting. It's like let's just wait in here. So we're all in there. We're all just standing there, dancing. You know, you can do your little dance move, and then just one guy, like out of nowhere, one guy just kind of walks in, and we were all, we just shot him, and it just explosions of things. Like the guy, I mean, it was so funny because it was just like pure chaos. But it's like the guy just walking in on a bunch of guys, like oh.
You know what that reminds me?
All of us shooting him in the face.
That reminds me of this time I had a run-in with a raccoon. Actually, no, I lied. It was a baby possum. I didn't mean raccoon. Possum. So I was walking. It was at my parents' house, and we have obviously the garage, but we have a fridge in the garage, and like most of the time we leave like the one door open just because the cats are sort of out and about, and sometimes they go in there. And this one time, it's like I'm just walking in gingerly, sort of walking around the bend to go in there, and he's doing the same thing, like just, you know, not a care in the world, you know, we're both just having a good old time, and we run into each other, and we both scared the crap out of each other, man. I was like, boo! And I could tell he felt the same thing, man. He was like, boo!
A baby possum?
Yeah, he was like, Jesus! And we both scampered away. But anyway.
That's great. I can see it right now.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was equal. I could see the fear in his eye. Like, we both made each other jump, you know?
Right. Have you seen the guy that is walking? It's like a helicopter view because they're following this bear that's in town. Like they're following this bear, and this guy just walks around the corner of his house. And he walks on the corner, and there's this gigantic bear, and
Jesus! Yeah, what do you even do? You're like, oh my god.
But I think the bear was scared too.
Yeah,
and like the same thing.
Equally
like,
startled.
He ran away. Yeah, that's great. Not a baby possum.
Well, yeah, it was a little baby possum. He was a cutie.
Dude, here's the thing with possums is like, it's their tails make them, you know.
Well, it makes them look like a big rat.
Tail. And it's just kind of gross, you know. But they're cute. Possums are cute in a very scary and kind of pitiful way.
Yeah, we had one time the possum was in the garage, and he like jumped into the garbage can and like fell asleep in there. And my mom went in and she's like, "Oh," you know, like it's just like a possum curled up in the garbage can. You're like, what is going on?
That's scary. Oh yeah.
I think they ended up leaving the garbage can outside for him to just leave whenever he woke up.
And you know, like when that's funny. When like the mother has like all the possum children like on her.
Oh god.
Ugh. So gross. I don't know why that's so
gross. It's like a pool of possums. Is no thank you.
Yeah, it's like a rat king. Where they all just get stuck together. Gross. Anywho, yeah, Fortnite's pretty good, and yeah, it's one of those games where we'll be playing it and talking about it a little more. So.
Yeah, and one of these nights we got to set up another game night, and it won't be this week because I've got a wedding, but maybe the weekend.
Fortnite will be perfect.
Yeah, that would be easy to get a couple groups going. That would be fun. I think next episode we should talk about nailing a date down for that.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that next time. Don't worry, Estuardo, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Yeah, I know. We've been wanting to.
I need too many goddamn obligations.
I know. Oh man, you ain't kidding me. I got so many projects going on, it's insane. But there is a game that because of E3, I know that you really were enjoying it, and that we didn't get to talk about last week because of E3. But I want you to talk about this certain calamari type game.
Yes, Splatoon 2. No, Sushi Striker: The Way of the Sushido. I always screw up the second part of the title there. Yeah, Sushi Striker. Now, this is a game I believe we talked a little bit about after PAX, because we got to play a little bit there. But now I've got the full game in my possession, and I have to say I am loving it. So I got it when it came out, and the first couple days I played a whole bunch. You get into the game, and you just start the sort of story mode, and you know, it's a silly story. So essentially, like, you live in a land where like sushi's outlawed, you know, and the empire is like hoarding all of the sushi strikers, and all the people who can make sushi, and you end up sort of, you're like an orphan, and like you and a few other people in this village, or a few other orphans, are like, they're hungry, and it's like you got to sort of go out and try and find some food, and you run into this guy.
And we can only have sushi.
Yeah, well, you run into this guy, and he's like, he shows you the way of the sushi. So like at first you're like, but that's illegal, and you're like, I hate sushi because my dad died in the Great Sushi Wars, and then my mom disappeared, you know, like he lost his family because of sushi, you know. So he meets this guy, and he gives him, yeah, I know, isn't that so funny? Yeah, this game is absolutely absurd in the best way. So this guy gives you some sushi, and suddenly you are now in love with sushi, and you're like, why would they hide this, or like, why would they keep this from the people? Sushi's just delicious, you know, it's the most delicious thing ever. And
you monsters,
yeah, you dang giblet heads,
Fatherton.
So essentially, that guy who showed you like sushi and stuff ends up getting sort of taken away by the Empire, and he leaves behind a sushi sprite, excuse me. And these are your little companions you use in battle, and you sort of team up with this, I guess, sort of legendary, or at least known sushi sprite. The Empire is looking for this person, or this sushi sprite. They want him as their own, but now he's sort of your buddy, and you guys start traveling along, and essentially as you're going through, it's just sort of from, you know, level to level, and you just individual battles. So as far as the actual gameplay goes, it is a puzzle game. You've got 3 conveyor belts of sushi, and then 1/4, which is a 4th conveyor belt, which is shared between you and the person you're playing. You can both sort of jump from there, but obviously you're going to be competing for it. And what you need to do is match up matching plates, and you do that by, like, you can use the touchscreen. I've been playing with a controller. You know, you hit A, and then you can just move the joystick around, and, like, they need to be close. Like, you can't just jump over a whole ton of plates to, like, get to the other blue plate. They need to be close, right. And like the conveyor belts are moving in opposite ways, so it's like, you know, it's a little bit of a waiting game. Now, what happens is you eat all that sushi, you gain, for a lack of a better word, just gain energy. Your sushi sprites essentially gain energy, and when you've eaten enough sushi, then you can use their abilities. And there are,
like real life.
What's up?
Like real life.
Exactly. And what's cool is you have 3 of these sprites active at any time, and you get a whole bunch of them, and they have different abilities, so you can just switch, and they level up, and eventually, actually, some of them like evolve into bigger sprites. But what's cool is you can mix and match depending on your playstyle. So, like my one, I have extra damage when you attack, you know, with comboed plates. One that is, it's called plate jumper, so you can like grab a blue plate, and then you can sort of bounce to wherever the blue is. Like, it doesn't need to be close to you, so that's really beneficial to get like big stacks of plates going. And obviously that's sort of the main goal, is to stack them as high as you can, because they're going to do damage. But what you do is you sort of gather up those plates on your bottom of the screen there, and you can launch them over with the press of Y whenever you want to do damage. But you can only hold, I think it's 6 stacks at a time, and then if you get a 7th, then the one all the way to the right will just automatically shoot. So, like, that's bad when, like, because if you have a stack of 25 plates, you're probably going to want to use your ability that's going to amplify that damage. So you don't want to just all willy-nilly be grabbing any plates and all of a sudden like, oh, I only stacked 2 or 3 on that plate and that pushed my big plate away, you know? Right. But the gameplay is fast-paced. Like I said, it's really comes down to knowing how to utilize those abilities. It definitely, like, just sending out plates regular is going to get you in trouble, but if you do save up some big attacks and use those abilities, you can do some crazy damage. You can even get as far as on each plate, like, all right, so you got your blue plates, but there are, like, 3 different types of sushi on that plate, and if you stack just this single type of sushi, you get, like, a bonus, but obviously that's way more difficult to do,
right,
you know, because
there's
yeah,
not a lot of them.
And the plates move faster, and like some of the abilities are like, oh, the opponent used fast plates, so now they're zooming by, and it's really hard to get stacks. But yeah, the gameplay's fun. The story, like I said, it's over the top. You end up joining the Sushi Liberation Front. You know, it's like it's just the game is bonkers, and it knows it. Like, the characters are crazy and over the top. They have some really great anime cutscenes, you know, that look really wonderful. Online...
Is there voice acting?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the production value for the story is very high. So, I know a lot of the discussion is like, well, is it worth that much money? Like, is it worth $50? You know, it's just a puzzle game. The production value is definitely there. And it's definitely, you know, if the game doesn't, if the puzzle mechanics alone, like the core gameplay, don't grab you that much, obviously it's not going to be worth $50. But if you do like the core mechanics, there's a lot here to play. I think Neil said, like, the single player campaign's at like north of 10 hours. So I'm working through that. What is annoying, the online, when I played, worked really well. But what's annoying is you need to, I think, beat 3 chapters of the single player, or like, or beat into the, or get into the 3rd chapter before you unlock.
They Splatoon
yeah. It. But at least I guess the only benefit is, by the time you get there, like, it isn't that long. Like, it's not like hours on hours, and it's not luck dependent. Like, oh, I got stuck with a bad team and my rating went down. Like, it is just, like, play through X amount of levels and you unlock it. So it is, I guess, sort of giving you a basis to not sort of stink it up too bad online. But oh, man, I was kicking butt online, let me tell you.
Oh, really?
Ooh-wee. It was great.
Yeah? Good. I know, man. This is when I'm waiting on a physical sale for this game. Like,
yeah, I think
20-ish, 25-ish.
I think you would like it. Yeah, I think on sale you would like this game.
Yeah.
And then I can kick your keister online.
Yep.
But yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, I like the mechanics of the game, so I'm enjoying that. And even today at lunch, I was like sort of tired, and I was like, I don't really feel like playing games right now. But I was like, let me just play like 1 level of Sushi Striker, you know, and then my entire lunch break was gone. So it is definitely one of those like one more, you know. It definitely has that sort of grip on you.
Well, you know, I have played it like 3 or probably like I think 3 matches at PAX at our Nintendo.
Yeah,
appointment.
no, I think it would be better suited, like, because I didn't understand the abilities. I was just trying to stack plates.
I couldn't understand the game at all. Like, I didn't. I played it and I was like, okay, this is gonna make sense to me sometime, but it never made sense to me. It just felt like just stacking random plates.
You're playing the wrong game. You know what it is?
You know what I mean? Like, it's
no,
weird.
I totally get it. And honestly, the show floor is definitely not the place to play it. I know we were in like sort of the private room, but like there was still a lot of people in there. I think if you had the game and I sort of walked you through just like one match of like what's going on, I think you would have a much better understanding of everything. And then you'd be good to go. Yeah. But they also sort of teach you that along the lines in the beginning. So, like, if you did play, I think after a couple matches, it would start to make a little more sense.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And, yeah, I mean, I think if I got the game and if we kind of Skyped and you just kind of told me about it, just kind of like Mario Tennis.
Yeah, no,
I think that would be helpful, you know.
Well, if you ever need a call, let me know. I'll be on the horn anytime. It could be 3 in the morning. I'll wake up and I'll explain Sushi Striker to you.
It's gonna happen.
I look forward to it.
No. All right, good. Well, speaking of looking forward to, we got the eShop Roundup to look forward to, so let's take a quick break so that you can go to the bathroom like we all know you're gonna do, and then we're gonna go through the Switch eShop.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, we are back for what I am sure is the largest eShop roundup of all time.
Yeah,
Put it on the calendars, ladies and gentlemen. June 19th, 10:48 p.m. We're getting the longest eShop roundup underway.
The eShop Roundup. Yeehaw.
That's right. And the longest, but maybe the shortest, because we're gonna lightning round it.
Oh yeah, we just did the count. It's north of 30, so we're gonna have to make
40.
some haste. We're gonna have to make haste here.
All right. First up, we have Gridded Retro Enhanced for $11.99. There's 2 D's on the grid, so I said Gridded.
It was beautiful.
Thank you. And this is a cool racing game that looks awesome, and like you fight Andros.
Sounds good to
The
me.
face. Yeah.
Next up, we've got Shape of the World for $14.99.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely
looks
kind of like
inner
space and a little bit of that space game from the PS4.
Oh yeah, No Man's Sky. Yeah,
No
no,
Man's
it's
Sky,
totally very atmospheric. Looks like it is a sort of adventure simulator.
That's right. And next up, we have Cotobot Wars for $3.89. And
Jimmy.
Yeah, this is looks like a strategy turn-based game. Looks like that with funny characters and
yeah, it looks interesting.
Yep.
Moving along here, we've got D/Generation, the original, for $14.99.
Yeah, by popular demand.
It's a puzzle game, right? I believe. Sort of isometric / sprite-based puzzle game.
Yep, looks cool.
Hoo-wee! It's a week, Perry.
Yep. It's a week. Neo Geo is back, and it has brought Riding Hero, which is a motorcycle racing game. Ooh, I like it's an apartment house. Did you see that? What in the world? Okay, so you have an apartment apparently.
Oh yeah, there it is.
In the apartment,
sweet mags.
you have a phone and a TV and a really cool sound system and some magazines and some gloves.
Well, I was going to say, I think my gloves on the little drawers there are my favorite.
Drawers. Yep. Next up, though, Samurai Defender Ninja Warfare from Fly High Works.
Fly High?
And, yeah, this
$7.99.
Yep. Boom.
Tower defense-y kind of game.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
oh
Yep.
man, this next one might be a really good one. A Magical High School Girl for $14.99. That's pretty cheap.
A Magical High School Girl.
I didn't know you could buy a high school girl for $14.99.
And for some reason, the A and the G and the G and G are highlighted, so it's ag.
Yeah.
And this looks like a very weird.
It looks like something. Looks like something we should move on from.
Oh. It doesn't look bad, but yeah. Looks like something we should move on from. Next up, we have the number puzzle from D3. Looks like it's Sudoku, but with also like, oh, that's kind of cool. It has like 6.
Yeah, I'm looking at. Yeah, it looks like they have different formations
instead of just 9. But yeah, it looks good. Looks like if you need some. Yeah. $4.99? Heck yeah, why not?
Hey, that's not bad. Puzzle City, baby. Moving on here, we've got Banner Saga 2 for $19.99. They're doing a cool rollout where they've released the first, waited a couple weeks the second, and then the third is coming out in just a couple more weeks.
Man, I've heard some really good things about these games.
Well, let me tell you what. Casey's going to be able to talk about it in about a month's time because Patreon plays over on NWR's Patreon. The winner was Banner Saga 1, so I will finally be able to talk personally about that. Like you said, I've heard a lot of good things, so it should be interesting.
Cool. And I can finally talk about Parallel for $9.99 from 34 Big Things. That's the name of the publisher. This is like a neon-looking. I have no idea from looking. It's a puzzle platform.
Yeah, it looks like a puzzle. Yeah, where you there's like it always seems to be like a line going down the middle and then sort of navigating around that. But
interesting.
Next up here, we've got Operation Hardcore for $12.99. This is an action shooter game, right? It looks like a side-scrolling platformer shooter.
Cool.
Yeah,
it actually looks really cool.
Yeah, it's got nice pixel.
It has like nice, cool pixel art with like some lighting effects and like big pixels and. There's some
it definitely gives me
Dude,
like
this game looks sweet.
Very retro feel. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Inspired by the classic twitchy action games of yesteryear, but with just modern like touches and conventions. So, very cool.
We have another game from 34 Big Things, and that's Otto.
Otto and Gretchen?
The laziest hamster to inhabit a virtual world. Otto and Gretchen, yeah. I'm Gretchen. Oh, she's Gretchen. I'm Otto. Grotto.
Grotto. Legendary 11 for $9.99. This is a soccer game. Now, I've not played this game. They are claiming epic soccer. I know Neil did not enjoy it, but you can check out the review over on NWR to find out more.
Boom. Next up, for $49.99, there's a demo. I'm downloading the demo.
There you go, big fella. There we go.
Sushi Striker, The Way of Sushido. What we just talked about.
Sushi-san.
Speaking of striking, we have One Strike for $4.99. And this is from Cubic Games, and it's a dueling, pixely, really snazzy, cool-looking game, actually. Become the deadliest fighter in vintage Japan. So, looks cool.
Alrighty, next up, another free download, Fallout Shelter. Now on the Switch, you can get that. I played this on phone. You sort of build up your little area there. I guess it is sort of reliant on in-game purchases if you want to do anything in a timely manner. But
gross.
It's worth checking out, I suppose.
If you want to play the game, you got to pay for it.
But not now, later.
No, not now. Next up, we have Jolt Family Robot Racer for $4.99. It's a fast-paced racing party game. Yep, looks like it's a racing game. Not digging the visuals, but $4.99. Boom.
Next up, we've got Alchemy Jousts.
Alchemic.
Oh, Alchemic. Pardon me. For $9.99, 2D, little like sort of tug-of-war jousting thing.
Slaptrosity.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like
cute-looking 2D action strategy game.
I like the
card
colors.
Games, deck creation. So deck creation and real-time gameplay. So it looks cool.
Yeah, really nice backgrounds.
Next up, we have Hexologic for the low price of $2.99. It's from Mythic Owl. A relaxing puzzle with beautiful graphics and unique rules, inspired by Sudoku, which I love Sudoku.
Very cool.
First game I ever talked about.
Alrighty, next up here we've got Paladins The Founders Pack for $29.99. Now this is a MOBA, I guess.
What's a MOBA? What's MOBA?
Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. So that's generally like, think of like League or like Dota, where it's like, oh, you've got a couple lanes and you've got heroes and you need to eliminate the other enemy's base. Now, I think this is sort of more of a mix of between Overwatch and a more traditional Dota, MOBA, like Dota. But I'm not 100% sure. But it should be known.
Your MOBA Dodo Maki Chaki.
MOBA Doba Dobady. A rubba dubba dub from Ribbon Heaven. But yeah, this game is eventually going to be free to play. So if you don't feel like spending $30, you can probably just wait a couple more months and be able to check it out.
Cool. And something you can check out right now is Hollow Knight for the Jim E.
Big
price
Jim Bone price. Big Jim
of
Bone.
$15. Boom. This game looks cool. I'll be getting it, but I don't know when. Maybe I might buy it now. But like,
yeah, I know Grizz von Sizzle. He tweeted at both of us at this, I believe. He highly recommended Hollow Knight. Yeah, no, it looks really cool.
Yeah,
this is definitely a game on my radar when I hopefully find some more time. But
exactly. Next up, we have Fortnite. It's this little game, not really worth talking about. But next up after that, we have Bloons TD5.
Oh man!
What in the world?
$14.99.
Tower defense. It's a top-rated tower defense game. One of the
top rated by who?
Yeah. Could be top rated
what
by
bureau was ranking
baboon.
this?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's probably fun. I don't know, whatever.
It might be. Next up here we've got Beakeep. Is it supposed to be like I was thinking, is it going for like Beekeeper? Beakeer Reloaded. Beakeer Reloaded is an exciting shoot 'em up that brings back the joy of classics in the genre. Play as Beakeer, a brave bee that must avenge his hive from the nasty wasp queens that destroyed it, alongside 5 different worlds filled with dangerous insects.
Look at the screenshots. One of them just has a random pixelated guy on it, like flying on like a magic carpet.
What is going on?
In the world? I don't know. That's funny.
I love it.
That's funny game.
Interesting. $9.99.
Yep. Also $9.99. Whip. Tira. Tira the Desert Hunter. Get it? Tiramisu. Tira the Desert Hunter explores ruins to uncover the recipe required to revive a dessert from ages past. All right, and it looks like it's a little cool looking puzz formy thing. Looks wacky. Looks cool. I like it. I'm digging it.
So buy
Alpha Unit. Maybe I will, Jimbot.
1917, The Alien Invasion DX, $7.99. This is a memorization shooter combined with the fast and frantic action of bullet hell shoot 'em ups.
Oh, did they say memorization shooter? I've never heard that before.
Yeah, a memorization shooter.
Have you ever heard that before?
No, but that just sounds like, to me, it's like, well, you're gonna die until you remember the patterns.
But that's how a lot of games are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I see some very interesting things in these games. Anyway, yeah, $7.99. Next up, we have Mahjong Deluxe 3 for $19.99. Mahjong at its best with 640 challenging levels. We can move on, though, to Casey's favorite game, based off his real life.
Pub Encounter for $16.99. The last time I fell in love
will be with you.
I like the one screenshot's just like this guy like passionately kissing this girl's forehead. Oh, there's another one passionately kissing the face, and the girl, I don't know, she looks surprised. Very weird. This is not a pub I want to go to.
Alright, next up, we have Lenota from Fly High Works for $14.99. This is like a cool rhythm music game.
Yeah, this one looked pretty interesting.
Yeah, like it's like notes come and you gotta like it's like a brick breaker game, and you gotta like get them as they come around like around the circle. So looks pretty cool. Anywho,
moving along here,
friend of the show, Jules Watcham's new game is out. Soccer Slammers.
Just in time for the World Cup.
Yep. Fast-paced 2-on-2 arcade soccer for 1 to 4 players. I have downloaded this game, but I haven't played it yet.
Jimmy.
It's just that's how much time I have. I just have no time to do anything. But yes. Next
It's still
up,
a week.
we have. It is. It's
Well,
another week.
it's funny. I was gonna say the first Neo Geo game would have represented the first week we missed, and this one, the next one.
Yep.
Again,
Yep.
sort of probably lining up with that World Cup. Super Sidekicks 3.
Dude. Yes.
The
And
next
I swear
glory.
one of the screenshots is Ted Danson. He's putting his arms up in the air for a victory.
Yep, I
as
see him
confetti is falling down.
in the yellow.
That is Ted Danson. Yes.
$7.99 as the Neo Geo games are. More soccer goodness for
Yep.
you.
Yep. Beautiful.
Next up here we have. Oh, of course, someone logged into and it blocked the name for a second there. Chameleon Run Deluxe Edition. Chameleon? Chameleon? Chameleon?
Did you really just ask if it's
Chameleon?
chameleon?
It's Chameleon, right?
Yeah. It's chameleon.
$5.99. Fast and challenging, sort of looks a little runner-esque.
Yeah, it's a runner. Yeah, it looks cool. Why not? Lots of pink and lots of yellow and black.
Black and yellow,
Cool.
black and yellow, black and
Hey,
yellow.
it's fast and challenging. But next up, Morhoon remake. Aim, shoot chickens from the sky, and reload. Single player, multiplayer, and 1 vs. 1 dual mode. It's chicken shoot. Right?
I have no idea.
$5.59.
I had already moved on to the next
one.
RBI.
Oh yeah, the next one's a lot better.
Maybe. RBI Baseball 18 for $29.99. Yeah, baseball. It looks pretty legit. I mean, I know Sony has like with the... Oh, God, what's it called?
The license?
Yeah, I'm forgetting what like the
MLB?
the show.
The show?
That's it. I know they had the show, which I'm pretty sure was like sort of like a monopoly on like baseball games, but maybe it was just a monopoly on good baseball games. But yeah, I don't know how the RBI.
We need to ask Danny Bivens how this one is.
The old Bivster.
Yep, the Bivs.
Z-Bivs.
Anyway, next up we have one of the most important and coolest games of all time. Can you believe it?
I don't know. I know Justin Bruby's a happy man.
I'm a happy man. Because it's Donkey Kong, the arcade archive of Donkey Kong. And you have to save... It says save Lady from her kidnapper Donkey Kong. It's Pauline.
I guess maybe she didn't have her name at that point. But yeah, it's like you could have just
we can call her
updated.
Pauline now. Yeah. Now, I have... This is so cool. You can play this game in Tate. It's awesome.
Did you
if you have
downloaded it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one I will at some
Dude,
point.
Donkey Kong, man. Donkey Kong is my main squeeze.
I know we've done a challenge in Donkey Kong before, but we'll have to do an official one with the proper.
We have to do an arcade archive. Oh yeah.
Oh, it'll look so good
get,
too.
Justin Nation to come.
Yes. All right, next up here, Octopath Traveler Prologue demo version. Again, free download demo. I believe they said your data from here will transfer over to the final game if you do play that demo, so worth checking out.
I tell you what, this is one of the most gorgeous games I've ever seen in my entire life.
I tell you what, it's like since day one when we first saw it, right? It's like, okay, we saw that. I have not really paid attention at all. It's like I don't need to see any more of this game. I know it looks great. I don't need to know anything about the story. I'm just
I don't
waiting
want to
till
play
July.
a demo either.
Oh yeah, I haven't I downloaded the
just-
first demo, but I never played it, and I'm not even going to download this one.
Nope.
Are you getting this game?
I might be. It's up my alley. It looks so. It's just even.
We're finally get you on the Thirsty Mage.
I like JRPGs. I just don't like to play them all the time, like some of my friends do.
I know. Well, it's so funny. I was like, finally, I'm done. I don't have any RPGs until Octopath.
It's like this sick thing with you. You gotta have to. It's like you're
and then,
addicted to them.
Then all of a sudden, Patreon
it's like
plays.
RPGs are your addicted. Your abusive girlfriend.
Bull, but she never hurts me. But
Casey, look at you. Look at yourself.
You're bloody.
Look at your arms.
You've got a black eye. Shut up,
no,
Perry.
That's a love eye.
You're named after a fruit. Oh man, we were going so well there, and we've going through like 30-something games. We're getting off the rails here. We're in the home stretch. The Incredibles, Lego The Incredibles, $59.99.
I saw The Incredibles twice this weekend.
What a loser!
It's great.
You know what? I saw that movie Tag. Amazing.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
I think it's very loosely based on a real story of these guys who play tag. They're like old men, not old men, but like they're in their like 50s, and it's like every year for 1 month is like tag season.
Yep.
You know,
I've read about them. Yeah.
So they made a movie sort of loosely based around that, and I thought it was really funny.
Is it a comedy?
Oh yeah, sort of like
okay.
Like it's definitely a comedy, and it has some of those like, I don't want to say raunchy moments, but like some of those like vulgar, like, oh, that, like, okay, like that was unexpected, but it's funny in the context, you know. And then like it does bring it together at the end in some heartfelt moments as well. I really enjoyed it. It was one of those ones we saw and we're like, man, we hope this movie's good, and it actually panned out.
Good.
But yeah, the Lego The Incredibles.
Anyway,
Lego movies are generally pretty, or the Lego games are generally pretty good. So $59.99 if you're interested.
Yep. Next up, we have a game we talked about, Ink. Right available right now to purchase. So boom, if it's $8.99, there you go. $8.99. Yeah, that's a good deal. There's a lot of content there for that. So. And
closing this very long eShop roundup, The Lost Child for $49.99. This is another NIS America RPG, I believe, right?
Yeah.
RPG,
what else is there on NIS? What's the other
Ys
RPGs from them? Oh, Ys. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, they do a bunch. I think it's
Dungeon Crawler.
Like Ys was done by Viacom, I think. Now I'm blanking. Like, I think NIS America is just the publisher, you know. But yeah, no, I think they publish a lot of like the more niche RPGs. So I always like the games coming out of there. But yeah, that's gonna bring us to an end here.
So weird.
Whew.
Woo!
Good Lord.
Awesome. I can't believe we did it.
Yeah.
We did it, Casey.
Pretty quick, too.
It's
22
done.
minutes. That's not too bad. Now, we've got some news to go over, but I think we need to play a little jingle jangle.
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
Alrighty. Now, of course, E3 was just last week, so that's... there's not going to be too much more news, but there are a few things here that sort of trickled out after we'd already recorded. So, the Virtual Console successor is Nintendo Switch Online. Reggie said, the Virtual Console successor is Nintendo Switch Online, right? With the mentality that's saying we're going to be offering a slate of games, and it's a slate that's going to increase over time. For many of these games, there are going to be additional online capabilities provided in those games. That's the vision we have for how to best bring our legacy content to Nintendo Switch. So, I guess, does this put the final nail in the Virtual Console name's coffin?
Yeah, I think they already put that nail in the coffin, right?
Yeah, that was Big Reg slamming it down for a good measure, though.
Yep.
You know what? I don't hate it as long as they continue to update the online Switch. Like, not even necessarily updated to play online, but just as long as every month we're getting a game or two, keeping it fresh. Ideally, it works like PS Plus, where if you download it and you're active, you could play that game whenever you want, so long as you are, you know, still an active member. Because then all of a sudden, then it's going to be like, hey, I pay $20 a year, and I've got over that course of the year, I got, let's say, I don't know, even if it's 2 games a
25.
month, I got 24 virtual console games, for $20.
Yeah, it's nothing. Yeah, it's awesome.
So, but yeah, so that's interesting news. I'm excited to see how that plays out.
The more exciting news is what's coming up next, which is that Super Mario Party will have an online mode to play with friends.
Yes. Dude, when I saw this
is so good.
I texted you immediately.
Yes, this is really big. Now, this isn't the main game mode, right? This is just like a mini game mode.
Yeah, it's called
Mario-thon.
Yep, I believe they said on Treehouse Live, and now it could maybe vary depending on the settings, but they said it was like a series of 5 mini games. Whoever does the best, sort of wins that. You win that Mario-thon. But
yeah, just like a mini Mario Party, right?
Yeah, I mean, it stinks because it would be like, come on, baby, give me that full play. But you know what? This is better than nothing.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
And now here's an interesting theory that I saw on Reddit. And it goes, what happens if... So, Super Mario Party is in October. If all of a sudden they announce alongside when they sort of unravel all the details with Nintendo Switch Online that they go, hey, guess what? The first game that's really going to capitalize this online is going to be Super Mario Party with Mario-thon mode. But that's not it. You're going to be able to play the full board game. The full game with it. You think that's a possibility, or is that a good old-fashioned pipe dream?
Why would they do that?
They're going to have to sell everyone online, right? For you, me, people who play the Switch all the time, $20, it's not really a hard sell. But for those people who aren't, knee deep in all of this, and they're like, well, why do I want to spend money? Oh, so I could play the games I already have online? Well, that's BS. I want to play, So maybe that could be a little bit of their hey, finally, Mario Party, you've all wanted it online. Now you can do it, And sure, it costs you $20 a year, but you'll get all these other stuff, and you could play this game online now.
It'd be awesome. I mean, did they say that the main game, did they say that the main game isn't going to be playable online?
I don't believe the wording was it's only this mode, but they're hey, you could play this mode online, Mario-thon. It's you know what I mean? Okay. I don't think they technically said the main mode will not have anything, but I guess it was just sort of assumed. Because, if it did, why wouldn't you mention it? Unless if you were potentially saving it for some sort of announcement.
Reveal.
But,
yeah, I could see that.
Like I said, it might be probably hopeful thinking, but you never know.
It is. Dude, I'm telling you this. If there was Mario Party online, we would play that so much. I'm just going to tell you.
It would be...
That is such my jam, and it would be so much fun to play Mario Party with you.
It's funny because I remember, I forgot, I think it was a chat in Slack. Someone was just yeah, the online Mario Party sounds terrible, with random people and stuff. But then, that's when I was man, who wants to play this game with random people online? It's I want to play it with my friends that just aren't local, who would play this randomly? Which, because I could see, random Mario Party with, random people being miserable, not being able to talk to them and just playing, people,
No, that would be so stupid, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It should be interesting. And
I'm not going to say that'd be stupid.
I shouldn't say miserable. It wouldn't be nearly... I could see it just not being that much fun.
Yeah, but I mean, playing... I mean, I like to play Mario Party single player. I've played through the modes, and I think it's fun. And, I'd rather play with other people...
Yeah, than a computer.
Yeah, than a computer, so...
And also, real quick aside, you remember when I was going through the launch lineup for the end of the year, and I was I think there's a game in August, and I couldn't remember it?
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Generations.
Ah, gotcha. Man, Monster Hunter, Smash, and Pokemon?
Oh, man.
Seems
I said, because it just didn't have that big pop-off moment, but when you look back at it, it's there is a big title coming every month, but
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know. I'm just like, I am pumped for Pokemon. I'm pumped for Smash, but I'm not like...
foaming at the bit.
Yeah, I'm not.
But you know what? That's fine, because there are going to be so
That's
many
fine.
smaller games releasing between now and then that are going to keep us busy.
I have a backlog of 1 billion things, so yeah, I'm not worried at all.
Dude, and Wolfenstein comes out at the end of the month. Jesus.
I know. And Captain Toad is going to come out, and Mario Tennis. Okay. Anyway.
I tell you what, real quick. Speaking of Captain Toad, they just released a new trailer earlier that shows more Mario Odyssey levels.
Yeah.
So you've got Sand Kingdom, Cascade Kingdom, Luncheon Kingdom, and the Metro Kingdom.
Yes, the Luncheon Kingdom. That's the best.
Now I haven't seen this. I just saw it, the trailer came up, and this was some of the reaction from it. So I don't know exactly if they were like they showed a bunch of levels or if it was just maybe like one little snippet from each area. But that's significantly new bits of content. You know what I mean? So that should be pretty sweet.
Heck yeah! And apparently there's a demo on the Switch.
Yeah,
on
Japanese eShop.
Switch and 3DS eShop. I keep forgetting this is a 3DS game.
Yeah, it's strange.
Which is cool. I mean, like
the old 3DS still kicking.
If it's in 3D, then heck yeah.
Yep.
But anywho, what's next on the docket?
The Fortnite block.
All right.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Fortnite downloaded over 2 million times in the first 24 hours it was available. I guess people want to try out some Fortnite. Some cool news that came out that it has native voice chat, which does not require you to use Nintendo's phone app. You just simply plug in like a pair of headphones that has a little mic on there, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, have you tried that yet?
No.
We should try that.
It's so funny. Someone had mentioned, like, yeah, we could do that tonight. But it's like, but you know what? It's like, we could just use Skype, too, and that's easier. And then it's like, and there it is. It's like, when Nintendo says voice chat isn't that important, it's because even when we have, like, an easy solution, it's still like, let's fire up Skype.
I'm telling you, I know.
We're conditioned.
That's what I mean. That's what I've been saying the whole time. Like, the way it works now, I have my own system where it couldn't be easier, you know? No matter what, it couldn't be easier. Skype is the easiest thing. Having my phone right here.
Yeah.
So,
now let me ask you a question. You hear about this last little bit of business with Sony and Fortnite and
yeah, and their little trolling Sony.
Yeah, well, apparently, I guess this has been a known issue, but if you play Fortnite on your PS4, it locks you into that system, so you can't play it on Xbox or Switch. Now, I guess just the crossover of people trying to play Fortnite, on PS4 and Xbox wasn't that great of a number for it to really be a big sort of mainstream issue. But I guess now with Switch and everyone wanting to play on the go, if you have played Fortnite on your PS4, it locks you in, so you can't play on any other one, and you got to make a new account. So it's sort of like, oh, come on, like, what are you doing? But I guess when you're the big boy, you could sort of get away with that. But yeah, it was funny. I believe it was Xbox UK was tweeting Nintendo UK's Twitter like, "Hey, you want to play some Fortnite?" ? Yeah, so I thought that was
good.
pretty funny.
It's very funny. Yeah.
But yeah, these last couple are just
2
sort
million
of
times. Sheesh.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of download.
Game announcements. Yep.
Yeah, these nothing I don't think too exciting here, but you've got Grim Fandango remastered in Broken Age, the classic click and point games coming to the Switch. I guess with
also
yeah.
I don't know anything about Grim Fandango I've seen little.
I think the art style looks cool, but
yeah,
I don't like point and click games all that much. So,
yep, me neither. Disgaea 1 Complete coming to Switch October 9th.
They must have been very happy with how 5 did to continue to bring it over.
Remember when Alex was telling us about Mr. Panda?
Oh, good old Mr. Panda.
on the show.
I sure do.
How crazy that game is.
Yeah.
I wonder how crazy the first one is. I bet it's not as crazy.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, they probably ramped up the craziness as it went on.
Yeah.
Valkyrie Chronicles 4 coming out September 25th. Launch editions of the game come with controller skins featuring the team dog Ragnarok, which is so funny. I saw a picture that's it looks good on the Switch because there's so much room, because it was in like the grip. But like, yeah, it's just a big pooch. But there's also special edition, which has your 100-page art book, statue of the in-game tank, download code for missions starring characters from the original game. So I wonder if that's exclusive,
cool.
or if that's maybe some like DLC you could buy and it's just sort of included in this. But
Yeah.
that's a game I would be interested in, but there's just not enough time. That's not happening.
No. Absolutely.
And this last bit,
it's physical, so you never know.
Yeah, this last bit here, I guess we already sort of touched upon, but
Yeah, the DK, the original arcade, is out on Switch, and but it's kind of a cool thing. Is like during the Treehouse, they mentioned that it was the first re-release of the arcade game of the version since 1981.
yeah, that's a long time, and I know especially with like the original Donkey Kong and they have like a movie sort of, and I think the movie's a little dramatized, but like following the high score and now with the whole Billy Mitchell cheating thing, it's like I feel like there's always been like a little interesting stuff sort of floating around the Donkey Kong, and to finally now also, it's like you've got the authentic, or so they're claiming, like the authentic ROM. This is exactly that arcade game, so it's cool. It's cool. Like I said, I know Justin Berube is a big Donkey Kong man, and he was elated with this news.
Yeah. Now, I'm surprised you put this in, but didn't put the more important and cool news in, which is that the lost Nintendo arcade game Sky Skipper is releasing in July.
That's right. That is right.
Which is really cool.
I dumbed it here.
Yeah, so on that Treehouse, there was a guy named Don James who introduced Sky Skipper, which is a 1981 shooter game. And basically it never was released, but there was like one arcade machine still like made. Like there was still one left at Nintendo, and they went and they got it, and they're going to release it on the Switch. And that's just the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that reminds me of when like on GBA Virtual Console when the Kuru Kuru Kururin came finally, like, and it had never been in had an American release. So this is cool. That Don James, I believe, is one of the oldest or longest tenured Nintendo employees. He joined in August of 1981, and I know he was actually, I guess, was talking about working with the cabinets and stuff. So it's like this guy is like an OG,
Oh man, he knew what he was talking about. It was great.
And did you know Pauline, excuse me. I was like, that doesn't sound right. I mixed Rosalina and Paulina. That was his ex-wife's name. That's where she got her name.
Oh, really?
How funny is that?
From Don James?
Yep. It's his ex-wife's name.
That's awesome.
Little tidbit you learn on the Treehouse.
And if you look it up, Sky Skipper, the art for it was done by Miyamoto.
I know, yeah. That man does everything.
Cool. That man is my hero.
I think I'm in love with that man. I love you.
Yeah. Miyamoto, I love you.
Boy.
I wonder.
But yeah,
I remember when Jimmy Fallon, when he was on Jimmy Fallon, like, and he played like the Super Mario theme with the band. Miyamoto was there playing it on guitar. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
You vaguely remember that when they showed off the Switch, and he and Bill Trinen was out there. Well, I remember like watching. It's like someone posted on Twitter like that Jimmy Fallon was like at at like a basketball game or something like that, and he was in the stands, and he was wearing the
oh yeah, the Mario hat, right? Or the
no, Jimmy Fallon was wearing Miyamoto's tag, like his you know, his pass to be at the Jimmy Fallon show, like at the Tonight Show or whatever. Like Jimmy was wearing his lanyard, like with his like badge on it, and like was showing people and telling him who this guy was, and like you could see him talking about it like from the camera. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Jimmy was in the audience, and he was wearing Miyamoto's lanyard from the show that Miyamoto was wearing, like, you know, like as a press pass or whatever, you know, to get into the show. And like in the audience, you can't hear him, but you can like see him mouthing like Miyamoto and like telling him who it is and like talking about the Switch and stuff. I always thought that was really cool.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah. Yep. But
that's gonna bring us to the end.
That's it then, right?
Yeah.
To the end of the news.
Yes, sir.
And you might think, okay, so we have the topic of the show. But
no, you don't.
But what we do have is a Craigslist RoundUp.
Craigslist RoundUp.
Now, this is a really quick one. I got a little small pickup this week. I got a white DS Lite and a blue DSi XL. And guess how much I paid for it?
$10.
Yep, $10.
I was like, should I just make up like some absurd price? So I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna guess exactly what he put down next to it.
Yep. Very good.
He's cheating.
That's what I wanted you to do. Yeah, $10. I was like, could not pass
yeah, that's
that
a heck
up.
of a deal.
Yeah, they're in great shape too. So woo wee! I can't wait till I bust out. You know what would be really fun?
You're busting
Mario
out.
Kart DS. To play like Mario Kart DS and get like 8 people, you know, and we can do like the 8 DSs.
Oh
and play
man, that'd be awesome.
Oh, I've done it with like 6, and it's like so much fun. But I'd love to do it with 8. But anyway, yeah, there it is. And that'll do, and I'm gonna pick up something tomorrow that I'll talk about next week.
Ooh.
But that'll do it this time for the Craigslist RoundUp.
And that's just about gonna bring us to the end of the show here. But somebody's gotta pay the piper.
That's right.
I know we
That's right.
we talked last week about going back and giving the Joy-Cons account, and I was watching a bit of the Super Smash Brothers spot, and I realized that they did indeed mention the 3DS when they talked about the levels. They just quickly mentioned the 3DS. So even if I had gotten those Joy-Cons right and you gave me the Fallout, I'd have to deduct a point from my total there because they did actually mention the 3DS.
Yeah.
So it was a moot point all around. So I did not actually go and sit there and count how many times Joy-Con was said. But
what he means to say is while he was counting how many times Joy-Cons was said, he found
I'm a big fat
that he
loser.
said 3DS.
But yeah, so that means it's time for my punishment, which we decided was going to be decided by you guys via a Twitter poll. Now, that will be set up... Ooh, excuse me. That will be set up when you're listening to this. It will be active on our Twitter. So jump over to Talk Nintendo Pod. That's Talk Nintendo...
P-O-D.
Booyah, baby. Now, do we want to decide exactly what the punishments are now, or should we
Yes, we do.
Okay, so what are the options? It's up to you.
So there's going to be 2 options.
All right.
2 options. Okay, either you have to stream and I don't know the game yet, but it'll be a game, a crappy game, and I don't exactly know. I don't know what system it'll be. Oh, dude.
Caveman Warriors.
Aqua TV. Aqua TV.
Oh no,
dude.
Just me sitting there
for Aqua TV.
Sitting there half hour.
You have to stream Aqua TV for half hour, and wearing a witch.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I'll put like
Do you have a witch's outfit or anything?
I don't know. I'd have to look. We might find some. I can. I'll just put a hook in my mouth. Be like I'm catching a fish.
But more importantly, yeah, there you go. More importantly, drinking a nice big old bottle of Coca-Cola.
Boo.
That's one of them. Okay. And the other choice is you have to do a video review of a stupid old game.
Of Aqua review.
And in that review, you need to mention how good Coke is.
There's nothing more than I enjoyed in playing Aqua TV, unless if I have an icy cold Coca-Cola next to me. Oh, it sounds dirty just saying it.
Yes. Maybe you should review Aqua TV. Is that... I never got a review.
I doubt anyone reviewed that.
We got it.
It'd be the
Maybe we should just make it Aqua
It'd be
TV.
the easiest video, like actual editing of the review to do. It'd just be like, okay, here you go. It's just 5 minutes of it playing. But that could be. We could do that. So either stream for a half hour or do a video review for Aqua TV.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me. We'll put the poll up and we'll see what the fine people say.
All right. Wonderful.
Boom.
I'm excited.
I'm not.
I just can't wait to see you drinking that Coke or mentioning that Coke.
Ugh.
Jump and crack bass.
You'll just never.
It's gas.
You'll just never hear from me again. You'll be like, I haven't heard from Casey since like Tuesday. Where is he?
He killed himself.
He's gone.
Yep.
But yeah, that's gonna bring us to the end here. Of course, as we mentioned before, you can check us out on Twitter, email us questions, this, that, the other thing, and yeah, I think that's all I've got to say.
Are you at peace?
I think so.
All right, me too.
Peace and tranquility.
Everyone have a good week. Everyone have a good week, and we will see you next week.
Poodles.
On Talk Nintendo Podcast.
Poodles. See how many times I can say poodles. Now we can't shut you up about it. But she never hurts me. But
Casey, look at you. Look at yourself.
You're bloody.
Look at your arms.
You've got a black eye. Shut up,
No,
Perry.
That's a love eye.
You're named after a fruit.